3. The new Keys AM 660.
The Boggin is talking. And now here's your host, D. James.
Thank you, Thomas Willenbring. Yes, we are back and we are talking again here on the New Keys AM 660. And 8 minutes past the hour on a Monday edition of The Boggin is Talking. As always, that means that we are joined today in the studio by Lorraine Pursell. Welcome back, Lorraine.
Yay, thanks, Dee. I'm so glad to be back.
It's Mental Health Monday, as always. And welcome back to you, Thomas Willenbring, after the weekend. How was your weekend, sir?
It was very good. I understand you got out to see a good movie this weekend.
I did, and you know, there was a line, Thomas and Lorraine, there was a line outside the theater in Williston, in downtown Williston, and I guess that was Saturday night?
Yeah, it was Saturday night.
I had never seen that before in Williston.
Me neither, because I was going to go see a movie myself. I was going to go see a different movie than the one you saw, but then I saw the line. It's like, you know what? I'll catch it later. Yeah. It was a long line halfway up the street almost.
You just wimped out.
Yeah, I wimped out.
Well, I stuck it. My husband and I stuck it out. We had a nice date night. He took me out to eat and took me to a movie, and it was the movie Saving Mr. Banks, I think is the name of it.
Yeah, Saving Mr.
Just
Banks.
Wonderful, a wonderful honor. I'd highly recommend it. You know, when I go to a movie, I like to be, and Lorraine, I think that you would agree with this. I like to be uplifted.
Yes.
When I go to, or when I watch a movie at home, instead of being
totally
depressed or brought down. You know, I want to be uplifted. Laughter is so good for the soul.
Yes, yes. We can't afford to be brought down by anything. It's so close to us anyway. We just have to look for all those positive things to just feed us. Yeah.
And by the way, your article is called A Positive Mental Note. It's every week in the Williston Herald, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about your latest column, Move Confidently Forward is the name of it. But first I want to talk about Saturday. You had well, let me reel out the phone numbers.
Sure.
To get that going, all right? In case you want to call in this afternoon on the program, we would love to have you join in the conversation. 774-0306 or 1-800-238-0306 and call in if you got a question, a comment for Lorraine Pursell. And we would just love to have you join in our visit this afternoon. So, Lorraine, you had a workshop, or shall we call it a class, Saturday at Williston State College.
Yes, I did.
Getting What You Want in 2014.
Yep.
And it kind of ties into your column, Moving Confidently Forward. I mean, we're still in January, and we're still in the first month of this new year, so we're looking for ways to move forward in 2014, and hopefully getting what we want sometimes is, as you stressed in the column, is walking by faith, walking forward and walking by faith and not by sight. You say God promises to reveal our way and our path as we take our next steps, then the next few steps will be revealed, and I included that second steps in there. The next few will be revealed. You know, God says that in the Psalms that it says He is a lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path. Well, a lamp, when you hold a lamp up, it only shows you a little bit of, it sheds enough light so you can see the next few steps. You're not seeing a mile down the road.
No, and don't we wish we could sometimes and see the pitfalls? And, you know, I added in the column, we don't walk by faith. I mean, we walk by faith because we can't see the next steps, but we don't walk by feeling either. Because, I mean, we'll get the feeling to kind of give us the oomph or the jet power to, you know, to go for a little bit. And then we're faced with normalcy and the day-to-day and these kinds of things that just will weigh us down and tend to make us lose our faith because we're not feeling it anymore. And that's when the faith kicks in. That's when the faith kicks in.
Do you think we as women are sometimes led more by emotion?
Oh, definitely. But I think all people would just love to have that booster shot. You know, I think that's why people use drugs actually just so they can feel good all the time. People who drink and overdrink except for the hangover the next day. It's people's desire to feel good. And sometimes, escaping is the only way that people can do that because they don't have the equipment to do it otherwise. But, we just, if only we could wake up every day and just feel great. And I think I started the article with that.
You did. You said some days I just plain wake up with dread. The fear can swallow me up before my eyes even open. I've woken up like that before, just with dread to even start the day. But how do we get out of that mindset, that mentality, Lorraine?
Well, it was me this morning. I just had this feeling, maybe because in the class on Saturday, I really put myself out there, all the things that I want for 2014 and beyond. And so when we put ourselves out there and we really step out and we announce ourselves to the world and we're vulnerable, the fear later is like this repercussion, just like, you're waiting for the backlash, the snap to come back and hit you in the back of the head. And so I'm pretty sure that that's what I'm feeling, but I'm also reminded that what we want is just outside of our comfort zone. Mm-hmm. And so as you said last Monday, Dee, quoting your former pastor in Southern Illinois, faith is spelled R-I-S-K, and none of us like that. It is, I wish it were easier, but it's just not. For some reason, that's the way it's designed. Or we could just sit in our bed and feel sorry for ourselves, which some days I would love to. But as soon as I get out there and I start giving my gift, all of a sudden I remember who I am. Mm-hmm. It comes back to me, no matter how I'm feeling in the morning. And then when I can't, I'm just, okay. Maybe self-disclosing about that. I'm having a little bit of a rough day, but I'm here for you. Let's talk about you.
Mm-hmm. And that remembering who we are, you say, so chin up, remember who you are. Remember who you are. And I think that is so important. We're going to continue with that thought. Okay, Lorraine, who are we? Mm. That's a good thought, I think,
yes,
to start with. That's quite a question. Who are we? And when we come back, we're going to explore that thought when we come back with Lorraine Pursell. And I invite you to call in. Once again, the phone number's 774-0306 or 1-800-238-0306. Lorraine Pursell is here. And let me just, Lorraine, tell us who you are.
Okay. Well, Lorraine Pursell. My master's is in marriage, family, and child counseling. I'm a board-certified educational therapist, and I've been coaching families and individuals into inner and outer harmony with their relationships with others and with themselves since 1995.
Okay, and our conversation with Lorraine Pursell continues on the Bakken is Talking right after this on the New Keys AM 660.
Scores and highlights from last night's game. Sports at 20 and 40. Mornings on your news and information source for Williston and the Bakken. The New Keys AM 660.
Welcome back to the Bakken is Talking on a Monday edition is Mental Health Monday with Lorraine Pursell, 20 minutes past the hour. What are you struggling with? What is it that you are struggling with right now in your life? We want to hear from you. 774-0306 or 1-800-238-0306. Lorraine Pursell is here, and she is so generous. Lorraine, you are so generous with your time, with your knowledge, the knowledge you've gained from years and years of counseling.
Mm-hmm. Like I said Saturday in the class, if anything that I've gone through or experienced can help somebody else, I am an open book. My life is an open book. Sometimes I don't talk a lot about myself because it's not about me, it's about other people. But if anybody wants to ask me any question, I will honestly answer you. And there could be a revelation where I'll have to go, oh, gee, I need to fix that. Even right in our conversation. And I'm just, I'm very, I think that's why I'm here, is just to encourage and uplift. And if anything that I've gone through or experienced, I'm not into having an image or protecting myself or projecting this certain thing.
You have said to me before that vulnerability and being vulnerable to the public is it's so welcomed and so refreshing today.
Yeah, I think so. At least it just feels really comfortable to me not to pretend that I'm something I'm not, and just to be authentic, which is, I feel sad today. I feel happy today. I feel really bad that I made that mistake, and I'm so sorry that I did that. And beyond that, what else can we do? It's always in the other person's court after that. But if we can humble ourselves and be vulnerable, because we're all in the human soup together, the human condition.
We sure are. And Lorraine, I want to go back to your column from the Williston Herald, from Friday's Herald. It's titled "Move Confidently Forward," and here we are. We're moving. We say we are moving. We're on this path, and we're taking our next steps. We've said by faith, not by sight
or feeling.
Right.
Wish.
And so my question to you, Lorraine, is: do we sometimes limit ourselves and limit what God wants to do, or can do in our lives, because we have said that, okay, here's what I do and here's what I've done, and we define ourselves by what we do or what we've done?
Or what's been done to us, you mentioned, yes.
Yes, or what has been done to us. Is that true, Lorraine? That sometimes we do that and we limit what can be limit the possibilities?
Absolutely. Everything that goes on is between our ears. And when we think that we're not good enough or we're not enough, and I'm not talking about coming from a haughty place or a better than other people place. I'm talking about, why not you? Why not me? Why not? The Bible is full of stories of the most humble. I mean, God spoke through a jackass, okay? Mm-hmm. The most humble of the humble are who God uses, because there isn't that arrogance or that wall of, pontificating, or I'm just so wonderful, don't you wish you were me stuff, So, yes, we limit ourselves because we don't think we're enough, but it's almost like within that, if we can get a hang of that thing and know that we're worthy anyway, that's when I believe we can move confidently.
Mm-hmm. I love a song by Amy Grant, and she's one of the influences in my life. She's a role model.
Beautiful woman.
Beautiful woman. She has been a role model for many years to me. And her songs just impact my life. And one of her most recent songs is called "Don't Try So Hard." That's the name of it.
Wow!
Don't try so hard. And the essence of the song is, and she had James Taylor to join her on the song. Another great,
yes,
that I admire. And the song kind of goes like, "Don't try so hard. God gives you grace, and you can't earn it. So don't think that you're not worth it, because you are."
And it's so, not to cut you off, Dee, but it's so imperative that when we get that instinct, when we get that glimmer, when we get that idea that comes to our brain, that we act on it right then and there. Do not doubt, because you know what? That is your inspiration from your inner knowing. Go, do it. Just do it then. And that's not the trying so hard. That's just following the inspiration, following the idea. And that's when God meets you, the next step, the next step, the next step, the next step.
Mm-hmm. If you have a question, what are you struggling with? We'd like to hear from you today, 774-0306 or 1-800-238-0306. We're talking with Lorraine Pursell. And it's just, as always, it's Mental Health Monday, and it's a great time for us to get together and just have a visit, Lorraine. Mm-hmm. And I want to bring out something that you included in your column. You said that it's a great quote by Henry David Thoreau. Mm-hmm. I love this. If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life he has imagined, he will meet with success unexpected in common hours. So it's talking here about dreams. Thoreau's talking about dreams and living that life just as you have imagined it.
See, sometimes, Dee, like to follow on what you were saying, when we get a dream and then we say, oh, I couldn't, not me, I don't have the talent, I don't have the skills, whatever excuses we can make. I believe God gives you those dreams. It says that God gives us the desires of our heart. That means when you have a desire in your heart, that is planted there by the Father. Desire means of the sire, of the Father. So it's actually of the Father our desires. So when you have that desire, it's kind of not up to us to go, am I good enough? It's kind of just up to us to go, wow, I'd really like to do that. And I'm going to imagine as if I am already doing it, like Henry David Thoreau says. And that is the essence of faith. To take that desire and act as if. And pretend like when we were, little kids. Pretend,
Yeah. I used to do that. Yeah, it takes you back when you think about what did you do? How did you pretend? Like Mr. Rogers says, he's always, he's the master at that, of helping children pretend. I'm wondering what the folks listening, maybe they are following some dreams right now. And their dreams led them to Williston, North Dakota. And maybe they are living out a dream right now. Maybe some of our listeners have taken that. They've thought, okay, I'm going to take that risk and move to Williston, North Dakota, and see what happens.
Certainly get some bills paid.
Yeah. Yes. Hey, we've got to take another break. We will return with Lorraine Pursell when the Bakken is Talking returns on the new Keys AM 660.
Wake up with news and information from the Keys crew. Morning 6 till 9 on your news and information source for Williston and the Bakken. The new Keys AM 660.
Welcome back. 38 minutes past the hour on a Mental Health Monday with Lorraine Pursell. And Lorraine, you have, throughout the programs that we've had here on the new Keys AM 660, you've given us several good, just good tools of the week. And you have told us, and I use these tools all the time. I love those tools, especially, you've said be gentle with yourself whenever you're having a rough day or a rough week, and we all have those times. And I say that all the time. Okay, I'm not gonna, as we were talking earlier about the Amy Grant song, "Don't Try So Hard." Then I stop and think, be gentle with yourself. Just be gentle. You've also talked to us about that spiral, and tell us again about how that works, Lorraine.
Well, I used it this morning, because as I mentioned earlier in the show, I was having that feeling of dread when I wake up in the morning. I slept well. It wasn't anything like that. It's just like fear grasping me, just fear, just putting these talons deep into my heart, and I think it's just because I'm stepping out. I'm going beyond my comfort zone. And so what I just remembered, okay, because this is a way to protect us. There are lots of things floating around in the air. Let's just put it that way. And I'm not talking about viruses, except mental viruses, thought viruses. And so what I do is I just imagine myself on a platform, my feet anchored, and I just kind of do this counterclockwise spiral going all the way up my body, up my spine, up through the top of my head, and up to my higher self or God or whatever it is for you. Jesus, God, your higher self, source. And then I have started putting light blue light around me, which is from Archangel Michael. And so I figured, well, if I've done that, then I'm protected. I'll also put crystalline shields of light around me, and I forget to do that when I'm with my clients. I do heavy counseling on Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, almost from morning until night. And so I'm in all these situations with people, And I need to remember to do that more, but I'm just the kind of person I want to roll up my sleeves and get right in there with people. Nothing's too dirty or too far removed for me to like jump in there and like, okay, let's work through this together. But I think if that counterclockwise spiral, you can even do this right now with your own hands. You just kind of in front of your chest, because kind of move your hand in a counterclockwise motion, and it will remind you. See, the counterclockwise is what unwinds us, and it's the clockwise that makes us go just like so tight. And so when you start to notice yourself getting tight, just do that motion in front of your chest.
Do the counterclockwise,
and you'll immediately feel a release.
Release, yes.
An unwinding.
And of course the breathing exercise. That's been one of our tools of the week. Just breathe in all the good that you want and breathe out the bad.
Everything that tells you can't, everything that says you're not good enough, everybody's voice that you hear telling them they're not telling you you're not good enough, just exhale all of that. Breathe in the quantum. We talked about quantum quite a bit on Saturday. That's unlimited possibilities is what quantum is. So breathe in all the quantum, exhale all the duality, black or white, good or bad, right or wrong, yes or no. It's just get rid of that and just like, what are the unlimited possibilities for me? Breathe in the yes and exhale the no. And then when you're ready, you can breathe in yes, quantum, and then exhale love out to the rest of the world.
Saturday, you had a class at Williston State College, Getting What You Want, in 2014, and I had the privilege to attend that class. And you had an exercise that impacted me about visualizing where you want to be and then actually physically taking that step into that visualization, stepping forward and moving, as you say, move confidently forward in your article. Now tell us about, this is today's Tools of the Week, Tool of the Week, okay? So talk to us about that, Lorraine.
Well, Dee, it's so interesting because I just did this today at Elite Fitness in the locker room because I'm feeling that nervousness, and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm just going to step forward. And I did. I just stepped forward and I just left all that garbage behind, and I reminded myself that I'm here already in some kind of continuum, because time is a continuum. It isn't past, it isn't present, it isn't future. It's all one. And so as we step in to that future self, and we can leave the junk behind, we actually can leave it behind. That means we don't have to go back there and analyze it. Gee, what was I feeling? What was I thinking? Why was I thinking that? Who said that to me? Why did that happen to me? It's like, stop. Let it go. Let it go. And just, okay, this is me now. And just remember that when we're uncomfortable, what we want is right outside of our comfort zone. So all we have to do is, you can either do it mentally or as a metaphor, or you can do it physically like I did about an hour ago. Just, okay, take that step. I'm over there now. Yes, okay. This is how I can live my life. This is how I can live this day. I don't have to feel those things. And it is kind of like shedding a skin. Mm-hmm. It's like a snake shedding their skin, or those crabs in Hawaii that you see their little orange bodies up on the rock, and it's because they crawled out of that one and they go back in the water and grow another one.
And we have to do that too.
Oh yes, we do. Well, if we want to grow.
So stepping forwards, to actually physically taking that step, that's our tool of the week.
Yep, just step out of it. Like snap out of it, but step out of it.
Do you think, Lorraine, but physically, as the physical manifestation or movement of our body, or the position of our body speaks by the position that we're in. Is that true, Lorraine? And it reflects what's in our heart, reflects maybe what's in our thoughts. I mean, if we're walking through life with our head down, and doesn't that reflect what's going on inside? But if we confidently take a step forward with our head held high, isn't that going to speak to our intellectual?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Talk about the ultimate escape. Let go of the drugs, let go of the alcohol. Just step forward like you're stepping out of an old pair of jeans. Just stepping forward. leave it behind and just go forward into the life and the dreams that you have. Because remember, they are from a higher place, those desires anyway.
This is so encouraging and so uplifting, Lorraine. We're going to return for just a few more minutes of our visit with Lorraine Pursell on the Bakken is Talking on the new Keys AM 660.
Changes happen fast in the Mondak. You need a news team that can keep up. And you found it on your news and information source for Williston and the Bakken. The new Keys AM 660.
Welcome back. The Bakken is Talking. And we have about 10 minutes now before the hour. We're back with Lorraine Pursell. And we have had a wonderful visit, Lorraine.
Well, it's so funny because I tell people when I tell them about our show Dee, that we never know when the commercials are ending or when they're starting or what we said. Did we say that in the show or did we say that during the break? Because we just go in this nonstop dialogue.
It just continues.
Yeah.
During the commercial breaks, we just continue.
Yeah.
And then we open up the microphones and here we are.
And we add you to the conversation.
And we bring the listeners into the conversation. And by the way, we are so glad to have you along this afternoon for Mental Health Monday. Just a quick plug. The phone numbers, once again, 774-0306 or 1-800-238-0306. There's still time to call in, but we do have to wrap it up here in the few minutes that we have left on the Bakken is Talking with Lorraine Pursell. And Lorraine, we've been talking about your recent article, your most recent in the Williston Herald Friday's edition, Move Confidently Forward. And your articles just keep getting better and better, Lorraine. And I loved this one as well as so many of the others. But you say, God promises to reveal our way and our path as we take our next steps. Then the next few will be revealed. Remember that scene in Indiana Jones where he had to cross a chasm, but there's no bridge? There was nothing to see, but by tossing a handful of dirt, the bridge was made evident.
Such a metaphor. Oh, such a metaphor.
A metaphor of walking by faith and not by sight.
Yes, it's not there until, faith is the evidence of things not seen.
But we want to see it. We want to know it now.
Yeah,
Lorraine,
we do.
how do we have develop that patience and that trust?
I don't know, because I have not been that good at it myself. And, like I say in there, I wish it wasn't so. I wish it were different, but it's just the way it's designed. But the thing that I know is that as human beings, we are designed to grow and stretch and take those risks, even though it is the most uncomfortable thing to us. Because if we don't, it's like in our DNA. We have to shed that skin and get greater and get grander and get, what it really is just to, give more to more people, I think, is a big part of our purpose here. But
and that stretches us. That shedding and those challenges stretch us to be all that we can be. Sometimes it's painful, but necessary.
Yeah, because if we don't, then we live a life that is unfulfilled. If we just sit home and watch our soap operas and eat our cookies and wait for, whatever. I'm not trying to put anybody down who might be in that place because honestly, I've been there a few times.
Oh,
myself.
I have too, Lorraine. Hey, moving to Williston, North Dakota was a big time stretch for me. And it got me out of a comfort zone that was really comfortable.
Yes, and you loved it.
I sure did. I loved that little country home in southern Illinois, and I'm sure a lot of folks have come here. They've left their homes and those comfort zones,
yes,
and are facing new challenges. But isn't that the risk is worth the risk of the possibilities is worth the pain, is it not, Lorraine?
Well, you talk to anybody, Dee, and you hear. Well, we talked about this Saturday. The most frequent deathbed regret is not, gee, I wish I loved my son more. I wish I loved my wife more. I wish I loved my husband more. It's, I regret that I did not live my authentic life. I regret that I did not take myself as far as I could go. This is what people regret on their deathbed.
Wow. And they know they haven't reached their full potential in their lifetime. They regret that?
That's what they regret.
That's the biggest regret.
Yes, that they didn't make their gifts grow.
That's interesting.
Yeah, those talents that are within us, that we didn't water them, let the sun shine, put some fertilizer on it, let it get beautiful and a wonderful, huge tree that other people could take shade from. I think that is our regret.
Wow. Well, we're just about out of time, Lorraine. But before we end our conversation, you have another event coming up that I want you to tell the folks about, cool. Okay, and then give us some contact information.
First of all, shout out to my son, Mark Pursell, out in the oil patch. I love you. And on January 24th, that's this coming Friday, at the Williston Library, I have Design the Family You Want. This is a very, very popular class in Northern California and Hawaii. I've taught it many, many times. Be there Friday 10 to 11:30. And on Saturday, February 1st at Williston State College, I'm teaching Bully Proof Your Child. Bully Proof Your Child. You can register at willistonstate.edu. Go to Continuing Ed, Featured Classes, and it's listed in chronological order. If you would like to contact me, I'm at 808-936-4370, 808-936-4370, and I invite you to uplift your inbox and go to LorrainePursell.com, LORRAINE, P as in Paul, UR, S as in Sam, ELL.com, and sign up where you will get this radio show, the Williston Herald article, and a parenting offering every week and more. So that's what I have.
Final positive thoughts for us, Lorraine, before we close out the program today.
Just for all of us to pretend and just move confidently forward as if God were going to catch us, because he will, or she will, whoever it is you think is your maker. That is our promise. As we step forward in faith, God will be there to catch us.
Thank you so much, Lorraine Pursell, for joining us for Mental Health Monday. We will do it again next week at this same time. I want to thank you for being here, as always, Lorraine. And I want to remind you to join me again tomorrow for The Balkan is Talking. As always, we'll have the Williston Police Detective Corey Collins, our law enforcement correspondent, to come in and get us up to date on what's going on. And also, we've got a special treat for you tomorrow. We've got two well-known journalists that are going to be with us, and I am so looking forward to talking with Kathleen Bryan and Amy Dalrymple tomorrow. Two journalists that are seasoned in journalism and reporting, and I am just so looking forward to my visit with Kathleen and Amy tomorrow here on The Balkan is Talking. I hope you'll join us as well, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.